Well, you can really see the enthusiasm for Netlabels these days, I guess. I'm not headset's not connected. Well, I guess I need to figure out how to use this time since nobody's here. All right, I'm gonna go get a Mountain Dew. I'll be back. Hey, Steven. sure where Al is. We went through a big thing to make sure he could record, and no, he's not here. So oh yeah, hand rests don't really go high enough. Wish they just weren't here at all. I don't think we have any desks without hand rests though, or any chairs. All right, you have audio this time? You have video? No audio though. Let me see. I'll kill my. Let's see. Problems on my end, maybe. Let's see if the audio seems to think that there's audio coming in. I don't really need my headphones. The only
Okay,
one.
try again.
Let me try that. All right.
Hello.
All right. I don't know if that was my headphones or if you did anything, but I'll just turn my headphones off. So, how's the audio?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Thanks. It was an issue on my side also. I was muted for some reason.
Yeah. Well, it's whatever. I can charge my headphones. There shouldn't be any outside noise. Yeah, I don't know if you heard anything I was saying earlier, but on Friday, 823P, aka Alien 23. I don't know if you know him. We spent some time getting his audio ready so he could like record, and that way, if there was like any stuff that needed to happen while people were talking, I wouldn't be trying to do this and the recording stuff at the same time, and then I don't know where he's at. So, but yeah, our little audio promos that we sent out were, out a little bit late, I guess. We got them on the Lorenzo's Music Podcast and on Radio B-Sots. But yeah, I don't know. What go ahead.
Was there any feedback from last time we spoke? We spoke early July, I think.
Yeah, so the curator assembly, I kind of went into that thinking, like the multiple constituency thing has always been a difficult thing to bridge, and so my thought was like, okay, like we'll focus on, if things don't do a lot during the curator summit, then we'll just focus on Netlabels as an organization, and then of course, like that's still like an entry point for any sort of other curators, podcasters, etc. If we have a stronger Netlabel community, but it's just about where our focus is. So that, yeah, wasn't a lot of turnout for the curator stuff. So that's where we're at now. And Al and I have been, I don't remember exactly when I asked him to be CTO, but he's been involved in things for a while now. So, it's just like whoever else we can get to do things. What are I guess what would you like to see? We'll just start there.
Well, I think the main issue I have on my side is that the information is either lost or either scattered, and people don't find the real entry point for anything what's Netlabel related. So I think that's for me the main problem starts there. But
When you
people,
say lost, what do you mean?
yeah, I mean everything what was done in the past and that labels that disappear, all that info is not always available and or still available at one certain spot. You have stuff on Sonic Square, you have some stuff on the archive, you have some stuff on the Netlabel archive. So everything is a bit scattered. So
Yeah. So yeah, because I don't know how many people are going to watch this afterwards, but for folks that aren't aware, we have the Netlabel archive. So you're saying that not everything is getting to the Netlabel archive, basically?
no, I have a lot of stuff that's not there.
Okay.
No. So I was in contact with the guy, and
Yeah.
I didn't had any feedback with him. So perhaps I should restart the conversation again to how I can upload my stuff up there. So
Yeah. Yeah. I want to say the Netlabel archive was involved in Netlabel Day. I should have shared the whole screen, but only problem with that, I guess, is like then you potentially like get Jitsi Inception. It's possible it was last year. Okay, so maybe it's just this link down here to the Netlabel Day. Oh, no, that's the Netlabel Day archive. I was thinking there was an entry for Netlabel archive, though. I could have just been wrong about that. It might have been last year. Oh, maybe it was. Maybe it's on the spreadsheet. Yeah, I'll have to. I can hit up Omar and Mike both because I think that. I don't. I think that the one. I'm pretty sure that it's listed on the Netlabel guide. So.
I was in contact with a guy over Instagram, but it was, I think, like more than it's nearly 2 years ago. So
Okay. Yeah. I haven't seen.
a lot of. He said he was going to go on some kind of hiatus for a while, so I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have any news from him. So
Yeah. The last archive was from 2023. I mean, we could do something with putting that stuff on the Netlabel guide. Because I don't remember whose account this is under, but
do the current people that are participating in Netlabel Day also upload their stuff on that one, or are they not? Because like
upload their stuff on what?
on the Netlabel guide.
Netlabel guide is really just like a place to go find. Like, it's not a place for
Right,
upload.
it's a link. It's a link holder. Yeah. Okay.
I'll just have to. I don't know if I'm. Yeah, apparently. Do I have to have it emailed? I can never remember between like the personal account and the. I just said interco. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's what I normally do. But I need to log in so infrequently. Well, it's probably the easiest way to find this stuff. All right. Maybe profile's not the right place. Opening. I don't think I have a. Here we go. Somewhere over here, I think. So there's that one. Well, at least that gets us to my goals. There we go. Okay, so it's under the block global account. So anyway, yeah, I'm just making sure it was here so I wasn't saying crazy stuff. But we could make a new page here, for archive. yeah, I'm kind of wouldn't necessarily want to put it like in another location because, as you said, like everything's kind of scattered. That's gonna open it up in a new one. But yeah, I mean, community happenings could obviously be more up to date. It's just a matter of like updating the you know what? I'm just gonna share the whole screen and we can just deal with Jitsi Inception. So keep wanting to go back and forth. You see the whole screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm just thinking like where a good place. I mean, I think, yeah, maybe we just. I mean, I can see kind of one of the community happenings, like when things get archived, it goes there. I can kind of see that, but maybe take the Netlabel archive off here. We could just have like a separate page that's Netlabel archive, and then on that page we could link to the old archive and then archive any new ones on that page.
Well, like I said, it depends on the demands. If people have a need for that, it would be stupid for me to keep it on my site and nobody has it. If there's nobody who's interested in the information, okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think a lot of people are probably expecting that stuff to be on the Netlabel archive and not realizing that, it's not really, nothing's being archived anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what framework he's got here. Images, I guess the site. That's the metadata. Data, okay, pages. Net labels. Net labels. I don't know what the difference between these two is. And then there's resources. Okay, there's resource. It's kind of interesting because on here it says resources and that says resource. But maybe the top just says, let's see, I'm gonna click on it. It does say resources. Yeah, I don't know how interesting this is. Oh, okay, and maybe this resources.js is where the resources are. No. Yeah, I have to poke around a bit. But yeah, I can certainly do some stuff with that page. Okay, cool. Not one way I can see if anybody else joins. Cool. One of the things that Alan and I have been talking about is having like our own PeerTube instance, because I have found it difficult to go online with PeerTube. I mean, there's all sorts of other things we could do if people want, like Bandwagon, Mirlo, any of those like music sharing tools. If people think there would be a use for those, then I think one of the things that could potentially be useful for a lot of the like tech projects would be like having a place where people can go and just kind of like poke around, and they can determine if they would want to use something like that on their own. Very specifically, one thing that has happened with Netlabel Day is that I don't know what happened, specifically technology wise, but like people weren't able to like get logged in to do their live sessions. And probably a big part of that is because people just don't use IceCast very often. So I was thinking about setting up just like a stream, kind of like the Netlabel Day stream. But the idea would be that just like, people can just come and use it whenever, and Omar probably, would be fine with people doing stuff on the Netlabel Day stream, but like, this way that we also like we have a backup, if something happens to Omar's, then like we'd already have like a stream set up. But yeah, so people could just do like their test stuff and like get it all set up, and then just like change the URL for the Netlabel stuff on the mainstream. So yeah, I don't know if that's something that would be of interest to you, or
Well, I think it all depends what the participation was in last Netlabel Day. So I don't know if there were lots of people joining the stream. So I joined in a couple of times, and I was like one or two, not a lot more.
yeah. Well, I think that as far as like the most of the people aren't doing live, and that's probably to avoid technical difficulties. But I know that Omar wants people to come do it live. That way they can like respond to live feedback and things of that nature. So yeah, and I it's kind of like if it's recorded, then you kind of
It works. Yeah, it works. Yeah.
Was that?
It works when it's recorded. It works.
Well, no, I was saying like if it's recorded the slot, then like people are just like, oh, I can just like, they don't feel like they have to listen to it on Netlabel Day,
Yeah.
So, in some respects, it's kind of silly to like just say, okay, we're just doing it live and like not recorded, but just kind of feels like artificial scarcity. But like if people aren't actually participating, then I kind of understand why you would do it that way. So I don't know, can't speak for Omar, but I know that he would prefer that people do live sessions. So, and I think if people can come and feel comfortable, like, with IceCast and stuff like that, then that would probably help with that. So that's kind of my thought. I don't know how much work that'll be, and I know Al has had more stuff recently going on. So I don't know. I was hoping that I could lean on him for more of the tech stuff, and then I could, that would free me up to do more like outreach and getting people involved and talking to like Ben over at Bandwagon, and sort of like making sure that, anything that like Netlabels want to see in the platform, that they could get, incorporated. And I don't know if you've, heard any of the recorded sessions that I've had with Ben, but he's really open to feedback. And I think, he has a vision, but also like, he really seems to understand that, like, well, if nobody's using it, then, doesn't matter what my vision is. So I need to listen to the people that are using it. He seems to have a good sense of that. So I think, he could be a good partner if we as a community had some clear directions for things that we wanted, then, I think that would be good. But it's just, it's hard to know what people want.
Yeah, if nobody says something, yeah, true.
So, but again, it's kind of like, if we don't have a spot for people to like, log in and poke around, then how are they supposed to know what they want and what they don't want? So
I think it's like 10 years ago we had on Dirty Radio, when the people did plan their broadcast doing that live. We had an IRC on running in parallel, so people could be invited to listen to the show, and in the meanwhile had a chat with either the guy that was doing the show or with other listeners. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Matrix, CC Music Matrix now. There's a Discord as well. Yeah,
The issue is that we shifted to Discord also, but as I'm the only podcaster left on Dirty Radio, so it does not make sense for me to do this. So. We had like 10 people like 10 years ago now. There's nobody left.
Well, Sam and Victor are reasonably active in the CC Music line. I always like bypass join applications. Okay. Yeah, so that's the Netlabel, Friends of CC Music and Netlabel one that I started. Victor is in Kazakhstan, and he suggested that, I think actually that Discord's been around for a long time, but he suggested recently, that we sort of like re-engage it. So I've been trying to do that a bit, just because I know he doesn't really have any like other community members in Kazakhstan, and there's like a decent CC Music scene in Russia, but I don't know, like, I don't know all the politics of all the like different Russian speaking countries, like, like basically he doesn't know anybody, but like, Astana is about as far away from Russia as you can be, and and be in Kazakhstan. So it's on the Chinese border, basically. So yeah, I mean, just don't know. But it'd be good if, like, just for like time zones and stuff, if he could find like some folks over there. I mean, like time zone wise, like he's not so far from Indonesia, but language barrier, always a problem. So I don't know. The Indonesian thing is something that I'd love to solve, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know what I don't know how many, if they got one time zone in Indonesia or not. Let's see here. Three time zones: Western, Central, and Eastern Indonesian. And I also have like a bunch of different languages over there. Oh, wow. They used to have 6 different time zones. They had 3 half-hour time zones, which, I mean, I can see the idea behind doing that, but also, man, that would be complicated. Uh, but I guess island nation. Well, I don't know. Does that make it more important or less important? I'm not really sure, but in that case, I suppose it doesn't really matter. um,
Well, like I said, I'm willing to contribute to something if it is there's a plan to do something. But I find it a pity for your time that's not more engagement.
yeah,
That's the
well,
only thing.
you know, I don't know if we'll have more people in the afternoon session, but there's definitely like, you know, like cultural like flow of like when people do things. And I don't know, I see it a little bit in the my day job, and like August is often like things kind of die down, but uh yeah, I don't know when to. And this has been one of the complaints about Netlabel Day, is that in the summer people are doing stuff. So I've suggested having like maybe having like a winter Netlabel Day or something like that, or some sort of winter event, so we're not going a full calendar year, um, you know, where we're not all getting together. Uh, but you know what to call it, and like I don't know. Like you could do it like January 14th, and then just be like 6 month thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. What I mean, we could call it like CC Music Day. I think that I've talked about that before. Um, we're kind of, if we did something like, with a name like that, we're kind of moving away from the Netlabel focus. But I guess what we could do potentially is have like, don't do it on like the 14th, but just do it on like, so I think that day is Martin Luther King Jr. Is that the third Monday? Could do like the second weekend in January or something, and have it be like Netlabel weekend, and then like it's always on a weekend. And like this year, I think one of the things that happened, like we had a couple of weekend years of, or at least partial weekend years of Netlabel Day, and then this year is on a Tuesday. So I mean, I like started on a Monday, at least in the U.S., and then ended on a Wednesday. So like, no weekend overlap.
Yeah.
But we could try to do like a Netlabel weekend. Second, the first weekend in January is too close to the
holidays. Yeah.
But if we did it the second, then I think that could potentially work. Yeah, we'll have to at some point figure out, get people involved. But we've got, Omar's Netlabel Day list, so we can use that to let people know. I guess the question is what to actually do.
Yeah. I think we can think about it, how to improve things, and perhaps contacting the people that participate would help.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just wondering if like maybe instead of like a radio stream, maybe we could do like a PeerTube stream or something. I don't know. Just do something a little bit different. And we'd probably get different people, but I think that'd be fine. If we wanted to do that, we'd have to get our PeerTube set up. Something we've been thinking about doing anyway, so might be all right. Just texting Al here.
No, but just keep me informed of on your mailing list or something like that if there's some change of any, so I can see how I can contribute on any of the topics.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hang on. Might poke around here. Let's see if can actually change anything on the site. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to mainly just listen to folks today.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I don't know. I mean, if you don't have any other ideas, then you know, I are you on Mastodon?
No. No.
Um, because I was thinking I could um if you join the Discord or if you were on Mastodon, it'd be easy to just like let you know when if Al got like the times wrong or something. If he ends up coming, then I could just be like, "Hey, Al's in now. We can
Yeah.
talk about things."
Yeah, okay. I can do it on the Discord, and then just give me a shout out. But I'm afraid I will not be able to join more today.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
So yeah, I was hoping to have like 10 to 20 people today. So
Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, like we had a couple of folks put the promo on their podcast, but I don't know what their audience, like geographically,
yeah,
it's early. It's not that early on the East Coast, but it's early in the US. So both of those guys are US. So maybe most
yeah,
of the listeners are US. I don't really know. But well, Stephen, I appreciate you stopping by. And,
yeah,
like Al and I definitely have ideas. So
yeah.
we'll keep plugging along. So,
Okay. Yeah. If you have anything and any questions, just send me an email or something like that, and
thanks.
we'll get back in touch
Yeah.
afterwards. Okay.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Appreciate your time. Thanks. Bye, Doc.
Bye. All right. Oh yeah, it doesn't show the chat. It's just the video. Yeah, that's one good thing about OBS is you can see the. But since I broke my OBS, it doesn't have any video, which is not ideal. Uh, so I'm gonna use the restroom, and then I will be right back. problem with playing the music over the speakers is that like the audio quality might not be that great. Is play some YouTube videos while that I all right. Just kind of gonna wait around for another couple of hours, I guess, and see if anybody shows up. In the meantime, I will play some music. This is Walls Alone. Next up, we have Rainy Day Fiction. No, not Rainy Day Fiction. Rainy Day Friction with the Sweet Thing mix. Maybe if I stop the video. It's not the video. Okay. So I did log in. Yeah, so I don't know if it got killed because we're doing videos or because we were streaming for an hour. It used to stop after an hour. Not sure if it's gonna like keep on the same one or I don't really know. I guess I'll try to share that Lorenzo's music again in the video, and you know, if I can't get that to work, then yeah, I don't know what I'll do, but I guess we'll just do a different one because why not? This is so long, the Spiral Island mix. All right, yeah. So it's Jitsy's not gonna let me do the YouTube thing, I guess. Maybe it's because I didn't leave enough time in between videos. I don't really know why. So it looks like OBS is gonna have to be the way we do. Well, I mean the listening, I don't know. Again, like I don't know if it was for YouTube or because we were doing it for long enough. I mean, for so long. Because if we only do the listening parties for an hour, maybe it'll work. But anyway, Al got his OBS working, but then I don't know if he got the times wrong or I don't really know what's going on. Yeah, don't know. So, well. So this is collected, not lost, 2015 to 2025, to Augment and Melody, Philip Goddard's Moonshine in Space, I'm a minute and 20 in, but sometimes when you play hold on. I guess I could just. I could share audio. Actually, might have to play them in Chrome for that to happen, but that's probably better than coming out of the speaker and back into the microphone. So it looks like it's just sharing audio and not the whole screen. Not really. So I probably want to share the screen, but also share audio. Share tab audio, share system audio. There we go. Okay. I don't know what this. I'm muted or not. Maybe it's best not to be muted. That way, if somebody comes on, I can. I guess I'm gonna have to learn some JavaScript. This Netlabel guide thing is written in JavaScript. I don't really want to learn JavaScript. I could record the CC listening party thing here live. Well, I should write it first, I guess. I don't remember pausing that. Oh, maybe when I took it off, it paused automatically. Sorry about that.
España, del mundo.
Hey,
Hello.
how's it going?
Doing all right. Just checking out if the meetup is already in place or not.
Yeah, I met with 1MC, aka Steven, earlier. I'm not sure where Al is at. On Friday, we I don't know, had like a half-hour tech session or something to make sure he was able to like do all the recording stuff, and then I haven't heard from him all day, so I don't know what's going on with him. But earlier I discussed a few things, but I guess the big thing on Steven's mind was like the archiving of like old Netlabels. And the Netlabel archive is on hiatus. So my thought is probably just using the Internet Archive, just
Yeah, I mean,
place.
Internet Archive works. Scene.org also accepts Netlabel stuff for the most part. Do you have any information about the Netlabel archive at all? Because I know the guy behind it, and I didn't know it was on hiatus.
Well, Steven said he talked to him on Instagram a couple of years ago, and I can the last thing updated on the page was in 2023. So
I think it's just because he was moving studios a few times. Because I know he's in my label, so I chatted with him a few times. I think his name is Zach Bridler, I think. And I have him on Facebook, and he's active there, so I can ping him about it if there's any like specific questions or.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what has been missed, so.
And he's actively looking for more stuff. If you have anything that is missing from there, you want to send it to him. I'm sure he would add it to the list.
Cool. Yeah. No, I didn't have anything. Steven was just, and I don't know, maybe he was kind of feeling like there's stuff there that's not on archive.org and vice versa, but I haven't really verified that. I mean, it seems likely.
Yeah, Netlabel archive, they try to also get like the FLAC version if there is available of releases, and archive.org sometimes only has the MP3s. So he was always asking me of specific enough records stuff, like if the FLACs that I have on Bandcamp are they derived from MP3, are they originals? So if there is like originals available, he wants to preserve the originals from those to have like higher quality of the stuff.
That makes sense for sure. Let me let the folks in the Discord know that you're here. Because I don't know Victor. I don't know what Victor's deal is. I mean, like he's in Kazakhstan, so I don't know their like holiday schedule. Like half the time he's up at like weird times, and
is there a Discord for this? I don't think you ever gave me a link.
Yeah.
Or is it just like for internal communication of
stuff? I think I don't know like how long these like the links expire, or I don't know how it all works exactly.
You have to configure that. It can be forever, or it can be just a one-time thing.
Yeah. Okay. This says your invite link expires in 30 days, so there's that.
I think I'm there.
I went in and tried to configure some stuff, and I don't know what worked and what didn't, and so we've had this for a while, but then I don't know when exactly, but Victor at some point was like, hey, Discord's a good tool, and I'm not Discord's biggest fan, but he's like kind of hanging out by himself in Kazakhstan.
Yeah,
so
that's a problem with the communications overall. People scatter through different, some people use Telegram, some people use WhatsApp,
Yeah.
some people use Facebook, some people don't use anything, and other people are on Discord. I use Discord a lot actually, so I'm okay with it, but I know that a few people are anti-Discord.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest thing with Discord is like some of the channels, they just are so busy, and it's like I can't
Yeah.
deal with that. I don't mind being on it, but just like this channel
you have to
is
select
not
a little bit what you want to pay attention to, and what it's like once in a week you go there to take a look and notice that it's what's happening.
Yeah. So, but yeah, one of the other things we talked about was maybe doing some more with Netlabel guide. So I've been poking around on the code. Like I don't really know JavaScript. I mean, I can kind of like, I mean, particularly like what I'm looking at right now has like, embedded HTML, and that I can certainly understand. I think that Mike is using Next.js, so but it's there hasn't been a whole lot of stuff going on.
Updates.
Yeah. There was an update like 4 months ago, so it's not like completely dead, but
that's the main problem of all these projects is people to maintain them actively, because it ends up just being a hobby at the end of the day, and people starts getting in the way. So.
Yeah, well that's why I'm like, let's don't start another site. Let's try to get involved with what we've got. To a certain extent.
That's a good practice.
Yeah. But I do wonder, like, one of the problems that people have had, I had it this year with the Netlabel Day stream, is just not being able to connect. And Al was saying when he connected, I think it showed up, like the metadata showed up the track that he was playing, but the audio was clearly coming from somewhere else, and he couldn't figure out what was going on.
You as a streamer or you as a viewer?
As a streamer, like getting connected to the IceCast. Like it would say I was connected, but then it wasn't playing my stuff.
I mean, I remember watching it a couple of times throughout the day. One of them was your show, even.
Yeah.
So it seemed to be working, but I didn't monitor 24/7. So.
Well, so what I did the first day, because I was doing it the first day with Netlabel Day, I did it both days, Mondays and Tuesday. Is when I was supposed to go live, I couldn't get connected on day one, so I just went ahead and recorded it locally, and I sent it to Omar, and I was like, just you can throw this in wherever, and if I can't get connected tomorrow, then.
And usually when we try to do these kind of live stream things, we used to have the previous day for mic check, everyone trying to connect for like 5 minutes and just checking if the quality is good, and then that way we have tested everyone's setup.
Well, what I was thinking recommend. Was that we could have another channel where people could just like experiment with things and come and connect whenever, and that way like they wouldn't feel like they were messing up the Netlabel Day stream or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So that was one thought that I had, is just and we've talked about having like a third stream for a while, and I've fought it because we already have the Netlabel Day stream, and Rhino has a 24/7 stream, and maybe there's other streams, but like we can't really get Rhino or Omar to be super interested in like having other people on the stream. So I think we might just have to do that, and then, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it wasn't very disseminated in terms of communication. People knew that it existed, but they didn't know what was going to happen when. So that doesn't really help people to be interested in listening and tuning in and being on top of the schedule. You need like some sort of flyer saying what happens where,
Yeah,
the time
yeah.
zones and that kind of stuff. If it's a global event, you need to spam it properly. Not just say, okay, we're having a day, it's this day, show up to see whatever that we might be doing. You need to have like some sort of scheduling to
Yeah.
so people are more interested. And another thing that we could also try to do is actually contact other radio stations that might be interested in broadcasting the stuff, either pre-recorded and then repeating like the highlights or whatever, or during the day if they can have like a special dedicated day to that. And then they have probably better know-how on how to manage those kind of streaming events.
Yeah.
Just ideas on how I would do it if I would be organizing it, but I don't have time to organize more stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that like Potsy has some connections with a Japanese radio station.
If you don't have quality way to ensure the quality of the streams, of the connections and stuff, the best way is to ask everyone to pre-record and then just hang out on the text channel, and then you already have everything already lined up and ready to send out.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. No, I think, I haven't done the live stream the last couple of years because I was concerned about, technical difficulties and such. But Omar really wants people to be on live, so that's why I decided to give it a whirl this year.
Okay.
But yeah. But I think that we learned a lot this year by going through that process with Omar, and that like when I think it was 2024 when we started helping out, getting the word out and helping fill out the stream and stuff, and like the whole like, well, how do people connect thing is like was never very clear. So now that I've like gone through that, like you can be like, okay, we can like actually get all this info out to people now.
Need like a guide, or either that, or just tell people to use Twitch, and then you relay whatever they are sending to Twitch. That also works. If you're doing both audio and visuals, of course. Otherwise, it's setting up a Nicecast server or whatever, but having to test it, because usually the problem with Nicecast server is firewalls. People who are not used to stream from their home, they don't know that they have to open a firewall for specific ports. So they need to actually test it before to check what's the issue and how to connect. Some people don't even know that how to configure the stuff, like they're set up locally.
Yeah. That was one
There's
thing.
even like a VST that does it now, that you just hook up the VST and it automatically casts to the thing that you set up, which can be easier. But I remember the last time I used Icecast was with Winamp, so that's how long ago it was.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about that. I don't remember who it was, but yeah,
you would DJ with Winamp, just putting an MP3. Smooth transitions on the tracks, and no way to speak on it. It was just a mess.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking about, you mentioned like having a video thing like that. I mean, aside from maybe setting up an Icecast, I've been talking for a while about setting up a PeerTube. So we could potentially do something like that. I mean, the problem I've had with all the like hosted PeerTube channels that I've found is just being able to go live. Like even if they like say they're able to go live, then it just doesn't doesn't work.
Yeah,
So-
they don't have bandwidth. They're not properly configured.
Yeah,
Needs
so
proper testing.
so yeah, that some of the tech stuff I was hoping Al would be here to talk about
Mhm.
about that, because
But, I mean, didn't Omar do this on the previous years as well, like a live stream, or was it just pre-recorded stuff?
well, I mean, I don't know that he did any video, but I mean it's his IceCast server, so it runs at least theoretically 24/7, 365, but yeah. And I don't know that everybody had problems connecting, but certainly I know of a couple of people that did. So I don't know.
Sometimes it's the DNS that doesn't resolve. You need to put the IP directly. It can be a lot of small issues. But yeah, the
Yeah.
best is always to pre-test, like a couple days before. Everybody tries to hook up for like 5 minutes. just to
Yeah.
test if
I mean,
everything
I
is
think
working.
that's why I think a test server, because I think the Netlabel the Netlabel Day stream is like advertised as being up all the time. So then people I think are like, oh yeah, well if I connect and break it, then but
I mean, on IceCast, the other person needs to drop for you to be able to connect. So maybe that was the issue that you were having.
yeah, that would make
Usually
sense.
there's like a chat room where you set up like, okay, you are coming in 5 minutes. When I disconnect, and then they warn you, they tell you on the chat, and that's when you connect.
Okay.
So maybe that was the issue.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, Omar definitely didn't, to my knowledge, have a chat room open to do that. So
Maybe there is a chat and we just never heard about it.
yeah. I mean, that like, so and I figured today, like, I'd probably want to like, do some screen shares and stuff. So it's like, well, I'll just go through the Jitsi like automated stuff. But yeah, there's no like chat listed on the Netlabel Day sites that I'm aware of.
Yeah, that's something that we could try to have more dynamic in a way, like a place where Netlabel people hang out, so we can keep in touch with what's happening and coordinate stuff. And I mean, we can use Discord for that, but I'm sure there will be a few people who refuse to come to Discord.
Yeah. I mean, always, can handle a few people, on Mastodon or, through text or whatever is needed, in that respect. But, yeah, we did get out. Well, one thing we should probably do in the future, is get out like an audio call to podcasters. I've been like in the last couple of years just trying to figure out Omar's process and stuff and not like get too overly involved. But I think stuff like sending out the audio to various podcasters and such is something probably needs to happen. Must start doing that for the listening party, the monthly listening party as well. Because I don't know how many people know that that's a thing that happens. So yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. So what's the monthly listening party? Are you organizing that?
Yeah, I mean, that was something that we did for 3 or 4 years, probably like 3 years. And we went through various phases. But then Victor was saying earlier this year that he wanted to bring it back. And before we were doing it every week. And I was like, I think one of the reasons why that we kind of like all ended up bailing before is because people just couldn't show up every week. So now we do it monthly. And
in some respects, that's going better. It's. I don't think anybody necessarily feels like it's a huge drain to show up.
And what's the deal with it? People just show up and ask you to play specific tracks, like they were recently released on Netlabels or their own tracks.
Like people, so like in Jitsi, you can just use the share audio, and people just
okay,
play stuff.
it's like a listening party. Yeah, you can do
Yeah.
that in Discord as well. What do you use for organizing it currently?
Well, I mean, it's just the main thing I did was give the call out to everybody that was doing it back when we were doing it weekly. Hey, Victor wants to start this back up. We got a calendar invite, and then I just kind of the people that are doing it, I'll text them or remind them in Discord, and everybody's kind of got their own thing. So
okay, but do you use a Jitsi meetup in the actual day?
Yeah. For actually doing the recording, we use the Jitsi.
Okay.
So it works pretty well for that. So
okay, cool.
And I had been recording it using OBS, but as I noted, somehow I messed up my video. So one of these days I'll find the time to fix that. I think I recorded one or two just without any video. I was like, well, it's audio, so whatever. Not the end of the world. But
I mean, you might not even want to record. It might be better if it's just for the people who show up. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I know that for example, when Sam can't join, he always wants to check back in and see what has happened. So
okay.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I know some Spanish guys who also do I'm not sure if it's weekly or monthly, but they also play random Netlabel tracks. But mostly they're not playing new tracks. Usually they do retrospectives on specific labels or specific things. And I think they are connected to the Audio Talaya people. I don't remember the name of the radio station right now, but I watched it a couple of times. They also did reference to Enough Records at some point, and I was chatting on the channel and stuff. So, and I know they do it regularly, and they still announce it, but I don't remember the name right now. Converge Radio, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, there are other projects doing similar stuff, which I think it's useful. But the main problem with those is usually the attention of people starts slowly draining away. Either you gain momentum in terms of more people attending, or it starts becoming too much of a chore without that many people watching, and it ends up dying out. So, but I mean, if you have fun doing it, I think you should keep doing it as long as it's fun for organizing and playing music and hanging out with people.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think during the first iteration, I was trying to really keep things newer and promote new stuff. And this time it's just just play whatever, because sometimes folks are feeling like they were having a hard time finding new stuff. So, yeah. Hey, Jacob.
Jacob.
Hello. I thought it was /CC Music, not /Netlabels.
Oops.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it said on the Fediverse feed.
It said what?
That's what it said on the Fediverse feed.
Which?
Maybe it was a different one.
The curator assembly, I believe we had on CC Music back in July. But sorry about the confusion on that. We wanted to do it, this one on the Netlabels URL, just so there are some folks out there that don't use CC licensing. You know, they might use like the Art Libre license or something of that nature. So just to sort of like make sure any net labels that weren't using CC felt welcome, and just decided to use this one. But yeah, normally we use the CC Music one.
Okay.
Isn't Libre included in the Creative Commons? Like if you assign CC 0, isn't it the same as Libre?
Well, the Art Libre license is just like a separate license completely.
Is I don't think I know that one.
Yeah, so there's kind of an interesting history there. Like, the CC org, I don't know if it's always, but like definitely when like CC3 came out, they were saying that it was compatible with French law, but like basically the French disagreed with them. And
Okay.
but then it's been less of a thing since CC 4.0 came out, because you know, they basically the things that the Art Libre folks had problems with, they fixed those. So it hasn't been like as big of a deal, but there are some other licenses out there. Like Dogmazik has a pretty good list of all the different licenses that are out there.
Yeah, I used to use Dogmazik, and they were French based. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I used to have enough records catalog there, but they were a bit inactive for a while. I stopped uploading new stuff, but I remember they were still doing things, just not as much in terms of cataloging online.
They did an update on their website, which is good, but also I can't find anything now. Well, let's see if I can find their license list from. No, that's a search of their catalog. But yeah.
Ciao,
So,
obrigado por terem vindo.
44 free licenses. Yeah. So that 44. I think I said 43. Yeah. So they have a breakdown of like the licenses.
It's pretty useful.
They got other free licenses, free art. So free art license is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th. So like 10%. I don't know like how much of that is like old and how much of it is new. But then like some people are using like the GPL open music license. There's a few different things. So
the main problem with Dogmazik is that they focus completely in French. So for non-speaking audiences, they don't really go there. But it's their target audience. So I remember I uploaded a bunch of stuff there before, but then I stopped at some point. Don't know why. But they seem to still be active. Like the website got a revamp apparently.
Yeah, they redid their license table too.
So Jacob, I don't know you. Who are you? How are you related to Netlabel stuff? Maybe he's gone.
No, I'm here. I just muted myself.
Oh, okay.
Who am I? My name is Jacob. I live in Wales.
Okay.
I'm not really related to Netlabel stuff, to be honest. I'm just here to listen.
Okay.
I like music.
Cool.
I'm interested in Netlabels.
Cool.
Commons. My brother's a musician. My siblings are musicians, but I'm not.
Ah, okay. Nice to meet you. I'm Philip. I run Enough Records, so it's one of the net labels from Portugal. So, and I've been doing it for many years now. So I've been involved with net label stuff for a while. Quer dizer olá, Afonso? My kid wants to say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Serão lá de volta. Vá, vai lá, já voltei contigo.
Yeah, so if you want, the first bit is recorded, so it'll be on PeerTube. Oh man, sometimes that sync does not happen as quickly as I would like, but I can toss the link in here. So when it does sync. But I don't know that there was anything particularly earth-shattering that you missed. The main thing that we were talking about earlier, Stephen and I, was he was concerned about the Netlabel archive, and then Philip and I kind of discussed that and close the loop a bit on that. So I think there's probably some good direction on the archive side of things. But yeah, one of the, I guess, pivoting just a bit, but I think related to, like, hey, we have a couple of different places for archives and such, is, we have Netlabel Guide. One of my concerns is that, like, not everybody like knows JavaScript, and especially when you're using like a JavaScript framework that people might not know. I think that's a pretty big barrier to entry. So Friends of CC Music just uses WordPress. So, people just want to put a post up, then it's a pretty simple interface to post things. But so far I haven't gotten anybody else interested in posting anything. So yeah, that hasn't, I guess, really worked out either in some respects. But
yeah, it's one of the problems, getting more people involved to help you relieve some of the work. Everyone has ideas, but then lack time to do stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, one of the things that I think this is Stephen and I that were discussing this, was potentially doing something like mid-year as far as like Netlabel Day is concerned. Not necessarily like January 14th, because if you pin it to a day, then like you're gonna have stuff during the week, but potentially like the second weekend in January, we could have something just to sort of like try to keep some momentum going, so it's not like a full year before everybody's like, oh yeah, Netlabels. So yeah, I guess, the question is what people would want to do, if anything. So, I mean, the other thing is like, it's a pretty big project to do something like all day, and like the Netlabel Day, Omar stretches that across 51 hours. And I mean, I get why. I think it makes sense. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's just like a huge project. So,
and you can pre-schedule all of that if it's all. You could even do it more than once a year, and with just pre-scheduling of things. The point is, for me, the main interest in that is making sure that it's attractive for people to come and listen and participate. Because if it's just listing things that were released recently, it doesn't make much sense. People can search that on the internet. For me personally, I think others might disagree. They might still find it interesting. But that's, for me, my main point that I think could be better with Netlabel Day is if it was better communicated, better planned, would reach out more people and have like a chat room of some sort somewhere where people can actually interact with what's happening on the stream. That would be important. And for those kind of chats to emerge and that kind of community to emerge, you have to do it somehow regularly, or have people who already have some sort of audience that already, when they announce something, a few of their friends will show up and take a listen, even if it's just for their slot, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I suppose like the monthly listening party could theoretically take that role of just sort of like keeping things going.
Yeah, but it needs to be better communicated, you know. Right now it's a bleep on social media somewhere.
Well, it's
that,
it's
like,
on the website
50
too,
people
but
know about it.
yeah,
and
I mean,
I think the main problem we have with net labels nowadays is that we are competing for attention with other labels in terms of communication, and other labels have budget for communication and time and people with time
yeah,
to do their communication. And for them, it's also a very big struggle to be able to reach the audiences and keep people informed, because social media is completely chaotic nowadays with Facebook and X fucking everything up. So
yeah,
people don't really care about social media anymore. So it's very hard to reach the audience that you want to reach and keep them informed about
Yeah.
the stuff that they're interested in.
yeah. I mean, so I guess one of the reasons why that I, wanted to have one of my goals with Friends of CC Music, the like actual website, was that people could, it could be a central place for getting stuff. So, I mean, I haven't gotten any net labels that have wanted to post anything there, but if we could get everybody to just, have like a central place, and then like if people want net label stuff, they could just go there, instead of having to like hope that they see it on the social media site.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do you have
like,
some way of doing like an aggregate of news, like getting the RSS feed from the different websites that post stuff? Even if it's a label only releasing on Bandcamp, there's always an RSS feed of what's new, and that
I'll
way
have
you could
to,
aggregate the RSS feed and
yeah.
put it in a single place with some sort of curation. But again, that's more work, more technical stuff to do.
Yeah, I don't know what the RSS situation is. I have to look into that. Yeah.
But I mean, we had that in the past a couple of times for net label releases, and it has attention for a while, and then people stop doing the maintenance for it. The number of visitors start dwindling down because they already know what labels they want to follow. They only follow those. They don't really want to follow random stuff. So you end up back in the position where you might as well just do a blog and have proper talks about the proper release that you actually liked. And there are some blogs still reviewing net label music, which is pretty good, all things considered. But I think also the waters have muddled even more with regular commercial music and net label music. It's because nowadays commercial labels also offer music free for streaming. So it's a bit hard for people to distinguish the difference between free for download and free for streaming, and the difference between commercial music and non-commercial music. It's all about the licensing, and people don't really care about the licensing when they just want to listen to music. You only care about licensing when you are creating stuff with the music, when you're like remixing or broadcasting or whatever. That's when you care about the licensing. Normal listeners don't really care much about that. That's what it feels like to me. At least with enough records, that's what we've been trying to do, is put our catalog in as many platforms as possible, because we don't really feel that the attractiveness of the label is the licensing itself. It has to be the music front and foremost for our main audience. But it's also another big problem of Netlabel, because what is our target audience? Because commercial labels know their target audience. They're doing this specific niche of music for this specific audience, and they can focus on that. Netlabel audiences, sometimes they have a genre specific in mind, but it's like, it's free music, it's for everyone. Okay, so but when you are advertising, who are you targeting? You can't target everyone. Otherwise, no one will pay attention. That's a problem. I feel that problem on Enough Records very strongly, because we don't focus on a genre, and we also do books. So I ended up having like multiple targets at the same time, and it's hard to have them follow the label properly when there are a lot of things in the label that might not interest them. And it is a problem for net labels in general, I believe, because other labels have resources and they have nailed down the audience. We only do post-rock. Okay, we are looking for people who love post-rock. This is the people we are going to target. With Netlabel is a bit hard, because usually it's a mix of different genres and stuff. It depends on the Netlabel. Some are very specific and very focused, and some are dead and not even releasing anymore, so they don't even market their releases anymore.
Yeah.
And the music market itself is like changing always so fast. Like this new generation is completely different from what it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I'm still getting the grips with what's happening now. It feels like a lot of new producers are just popping up on TikTok and Spotify. They don't really, they don't have any other online presence besides that, which is a bit weird. So it's hard to know where to position yourself as a net label when you want to target an audience. There are a lot of things to consider in that. Yeah, Jacob, you can just chime in if you want.
Yeah. You're muted.
You have to
Jacob.
unmute yourself, though.
Yeah. I don't think I can unmute people. I can.
Sorry, I forgot that I had the permissions off. I don't know if this has been thought of or suggested before, but what if we advertise to artists saying, "Hey, this is a kind of music that you can remix and don't have to worry about copyright, so long as, well, depending on the license, you have to credit them. You should credit anyway." I feel like that would attract artists into this whole scene.
Yeah, that's interesting. There have been a few remix projects, but I mean, there are a lot of remix things out there. It's one of the gripes I have with remix competitions, is that sometimes they give you, okay, come do a remix. There's this thing, use these samples, and then you can't publish anywhere that you want to do it because you're using my samples, and it can only be published if I publish it, which is a bit silly, to say the least. I find I don't participate in those when I see them. So that's one of the very big benefits of CC samples, is that you can reuse them and then launch them anyways, with attribution, of course. So yeah, that's a pretty good idea. We actually used to organize remix competitions at Enough Records. Take a track, do the stems of the track, do a call for the artists, and on our social media for whoever wants to remix it. And the stems are still available for people who want to reuse it. But I did like 2 of those or 3 of those, organized 2 or 3 of those, and I stopped having time to do it. I want to do more in the future. It's just lack of time, usually. But yeah, that's a good idea.
I was just thinking how to get my sibling involved. So that might be something they're interested in. So
yeah,
I
don't know why. Maybe it's just a time thing, or just didn't find the right people. But in last year, we had like a remix thing that we did, to be special, to release, the final stuff on Netlabel Day. We didn't do that this year. We've had, I think maybe the most successful one that we had was Louis Ling and the Bombs. Had a lot of remixes for that, but I know that like a bunch of the regulars like Donnie and Cheese and Pot C, they all like talk to each other and do their own remix stuff, but you know, I don't know how to like get that like, you know, like a more like a broader audience. You know, they've, you know, got the guys that they hang out with and talk to and stuff, but you know, I don't think they'd be opposed to more, but like how to like introduce people into that little network. I'm not real sure. So
But it's announcing on social media and hoping someone is interested. If they're interested,
well, yeah, but I
contact.
mean, like, you know, it's like their album and like, you know, like, yeah, I mean, without it being like a, you know, because they're all just kind of doing it like themselves, not like as like a, you know, not using the label as an intermediary. So
But what I did with Enough is I went to one of our releases and I asked them specifically to, you know, let's do a remix competition. This track, can you get me the stamps of the track? It will be released under Creative Commons, blah, 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 and people will be able to use it. And actually, I had some people who weren't very enthusiastic about it, and others were very enthusiastic about it. And, you know, the ones that are, you pick those, and then you announce. You just need to give a proper window of time for people to have time to actually do tracks and submit tracks. Usually 1-2 months is enough, but something like that. And then spam the hell out of it and tell people to spam to their friends. And if you have new people, new artists remixing stuff, you start being a bit more connected with the label and maybe do another release later on, something like that. You can also reach out to other labels as well to announce there if they are interested in doing like a co-release of some sort.
Just looking through these releases, most of the mixes, I guess, are like, I don't name who's done the remix, so maybe they're doing them themselves. There's a lot of like featuring, you know, where like one guy makes a beat and another guy is like,
yeah.
So it's a little bit different, but
there are a lot of those kind of remixes. If you go to any digital creation platform, like I'm on Audios, and Audios has like a remix every week happening pretty much. There's a lot of that stuff. If you want to be in touch with the artists and get to know upcoming talent, you can, but you need to talk with them, spend time, and you know, personally I'm a bit too old for that. I don't really have patience to talk with upcoming artists that much. It might be a bit elitist of me, but I'm more interested in hearing new demos and going through that with seasoned artists. But it is a way to get new artists in and push the Netlabel thing and explain licensing properly to them. But again, you need time and patience and skill, social communications, the basic of social communication skills to do that with people without them feel like you're trying to take something from them in a way. Because a lot of the problem with the music industry that whenever you get a message saying that someone likes your track, it's someone trying to sell you something. Like they're selling you clicks on some platform, or you know, everyone's trying to take advantage of you. There's there's very few honest people that just want to give you feedback for the feedback's sake, and honest feedback and help you be better and do better music and do more music. So it becomes a bit weird sometimes when you're talking with a new artist and they don't know you from anywhere. Like, what's this guy? He wants to take my music and do something with my music, when you just want to, you know, give feedback to someone because you kind of like that track. So it can become weird like that.
One thing about not really a Netlabel thing, but just as you know, an artist is watching this or they're talking to artists and they want to, you know, get involved in some remix stuff, CC Mixter is a great website for doing that. So
yeah, one of our release artists, Ilyak, also comes from CC Mixter, I believe. He used to sample a lot of other Netlabel stuff like breaks and stuff, and also public domain samples, and like make new tracks out of that. And I believe he uses CC Mixter as a base for getting the samples.
yeah, so I don't really know what the mix versation is, but that's one of their new features on there. I've seen it a couple times when I've gone to the site, but you know, there are other sites that definitely like, you know, like Free Sound and stuff that have stems that folks can use, but the big thing about CC Mixter is like it's really designed like collaboratively. I mean, you can go and just like get the stems and the license, so people don't necessarily have to collaborate in a very like, I guess, literal sense of that word. But yeah, so the samples are there, but it's definitely like community oriented and sort of designed for, you know, joining in a conversation, which is, you know, probably appeals to some folks and not to others. So yeah, I wish that we could get them more involved in the greater community, but I think they've you know, like they've had some struggles over the years, so I'm just trying to keep things going. So what we keep coming back to, right? And the resources. So
yeah, it's one of the things that internet made fully available, and maybe new coming artists now don't really feel, or new coming label owners don't really feel it that much. Maybe label owners do understand it, but maybe artists not so much. Is that on the internet, it's very easy to find other people who love your niche of music on the other side of the world, but it's hard to keep that connection going for more than 5 minutes after you read the tweet and you follow them or stuff. You kind of lose the scene mentality or a closed niche mentality, which happens on a local level, or it used to be more prominent on a local level when you are on a specific genre of music or following a specific genre of music. You start to know the people who usually go to the concerts of that kind of music. You start to create connections with them. They tell you about other stuff, so that becomes your network inside the music. And on the internet you can have that, supposedly, but it's very easy to lose touch with it. You rely on social media a lot, you rely on email a lot, and if people stop giving that contact, you don't bump into people randomly. You need to make the effort to keep the connection alive, and it needs to be both ways to make that thing. And I think ever more, at least for me in my head, the local should have more relevance again. I think we have dismissed a lot of local scene mentality and creating a local collectives and stuff like that. People who meet regularly on a specific space and talk about things, discuss what they're working on, and that kind of stuff. I think that brings more activity to the scene overall, that keeps the flame alive, that keeps the interest alive a lot more than just publishing on the internet. Because when you publish on the internet, you don't have a specific audience in mind. You probably should, but you need to create a community first, and then you communicate to it, which is a problem. I speak against myself as Enough Records. Enough Records, we were always put it out there, and whoever likes it, likes it. And now, throughout the years, I came to realize that we need to try to form a community first. and it becomes very hard to do so when you are scattering up through different artists in different kind of genres and that kind of stuff, and different mediums as well, when you don't have that much time. So in my head, it makes more sense to go back to locals, create a local community around the people who you are in contact with. Alfonso, you're distracting me. Create a community around the people you are in contact with, and create something around that, and try to create synergies around that. So that would be my recommendation if there's like new label people out there. I think label people have that in mind, because it's impossible to make money out of music or without a local community of friends of some sort to back up the label in some way. You need a local contact first, and then you try to go international. If you try to do that small niche just on the internet alone with people scattered, it can work. I know of groups of people who have that, but they have like a channel where they hang out every single day and talk about stuff and share stuff, and
Yeah.
and that used to shift a lot with the passing of time. It used to be on IRC channels that we used to do that. When I was growing up with music 25 years ago, was on IRC channels. Then it moved around. It used to be Last FM. It used to be SoundCloud. It used to be SoulSeek even for a very long time. SoulSeek was a really cool place. It's still active, but people don't really use it for talking creative stuff with other artists, I think. And nowadays, I feel like it changed more to Discord and private servers and TikTok mini communities and that. But I mean, I feel like a bit out of touch. I feel like I used to be more in touch with what the future of music was 25 years ago, and now it feels like I don't know what the hell is going on anymore, because all of the social media just went to shit. So no one can communicate anything. They just throw you stuff that you're not interested on. You don't get the timeline of the things you're actually interested on. So either you go to Mastodon or Blue Sky, and then you get the proper timeline, but most of the people are not there. So you have to rebuild your social media entirely. TikTok is, I don't know what the hell TikTok is. I never used it, but I know it's very short content, which doesn't make much sense, but apparently it's popular with the kids. And people still use Spotify against every warning not to. So it doesn't make any sense as well. And then we have a whole flood of AI content creation now that's also shifting the market a lot. And people still trying to figure out where they fit into all this. So to me, it feels like Netlabel's lost a bit of the relevance that they used to have. Like now they're just a normal label trying to do their business. They just offer their music for free instead of asking you money for it. But yeah, the music ecosystem has changed a lot and is still changing. So I have no clue what's it going to be in 2027. I know I'm still going to be putting out music, but I don't know how many people are listening, and I have no clue how to make that work anymore. I have some ideas, some things that I want to try out, but it's really hard to find your community again. I used to have a very big mailing list, and I lost that at some point. So it felt like we restarted from zero a few years ago. And then we started having social media, started having Facebook, and then Facebook completely died. Started having social media. Now social media completely died. So now we are rebooting social media on the non-shitified platforms. But it's like restarting from zero all over again. Well, not from zero, but it feels like an uphill battle in terms of marketing and reaching your audience and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is, I mean, not local, but just the idea on, just focusing attention, that's, back in January or February, we decided, rather than like trying to be an organization for like all of like the CC community, we would just focus on the curators because they have their own audiences, and then like those connections with the fans, like they know what the people that listen to them, and even if like they're the type of curator where it's like, well, I'm doing this for me, they still have a voice that resonates with their audience. And it's like, we don't need to reinvent that wheel. And then, we did that for 6-ish months, and just sort of realized that we still had this like, not necessarily disconnect, but like competing interest as far as like the podcasters and the things that they're doing, and the net labels and the things that they're doing. And so that's why after the curator assembly that decided just to go in with the net labels. And it's like if the net labels are able to get better connections with their audiences, whatever that ends up meaning, for an individual net label, like ultimately that's like making them the net label scene like more cohesive and like more of a scene rather than disconnected people is ultimately, I think, going to be better for podcasters and just CC music enthusiasts in general. So that's sort of the idea now. And I think Net Label Day is still really important, but we were talking earlier about the monthly stuff. I did have a post up on the website for July, but I guess I don't have one for August. But those listening parties, they're the last Saturday of the month. So, sometimes that's a 5th Saturday. Sometimes usually that's going to be the 4th Saturday. But yeah, every month. So, that means this month, I think it's the 29th. Let me get the calendar. Yeah, so the 29th. And it'd be nice if we didn't like change time like halfway through the year, because then I can just be like it's UTC minus something. But it doesn't really work out that way. Like it's gonna change like in the fall and spring. But let's see what time it is in UTC at the moment. So not yeah.
Would actually be interesting to have a list of curators who are interested in CC music. So you have like a list of people who you can mail new releases, because that's very hard to find. Usually I hunt for radio programs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are just focused on commercial music, and they only play your stuff if you send them a CD of your music. So if we have a list of CC music and like of CC curators, of CC friendly curators, in what genres of music they're interested in, I think that would be a valuable resource.
Okay, that I know we've got some up on the site, but yeah, we haven't really built that out. So yeah, that's something that I could probably pretty easily do. So yeah. All right. So right now, that is UTC +5 is when we start the monthly listening party.
You need a countdown on the website because people won't know how to translate the time zone.
Yeah, I mean it's 1 p.m. U.S. Central. That's when it is. So just
probably morning for me. Yeah.
No, that'll be like it'll be like 8. Well, no. So are you?
No, it's -5. So like 8 in the morning or 9 in the morning.
No.
Like
so 1 p.m. CDT is UTC +5. It's 6 p.m. UTC. So I don't. Are you on UTC or you want off?
I am one off, I think. I don't know.
So it's going to be
questions at this time.
It's like going to be like 5 p.m. for you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Evening here is earlier there. Okay.
Something like that. But also I can just add you to the invite. I think.
Yeah, include me in those. I might be able to drop on some of them. Usually I have to play football in the park with my kid on Saturday afternoons, but he might be away somewhere doing something, and I can drop by.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not?
I'm just over here playing a game.
You're playing. Well, today is Sunday, not Saturday. Yeah. Yeah, I need to go soon as well. Because
Yeah, well,
Sunday.
we're 9 minutes is when the first session is going to end. Anyway, your email is not popping up in my
It's
invite.
PS enough. PS enough at gmail.com.
Yeah.
So are there any specific topics that you wanted to address today? Is there any specific plan, something that I should watch back once I disconnect?
No, I mean, the main thing is that I wanted to just listen to what people wanted, and then for the, we can use what people want to sort of like figure out what we want to do for the year. We have another session in 4 hours. So I don't know if that'll have more US folks in it. So there might be some interesting stuff that comes out of that. But we already talked about the stuff that Steven and I talked about. So I think for sure, go to this is for everybody that's watching this. Go to friendsofccmusic.org and see what's not there, and we can get it on there. Depending on how difficult technologically that is to actually do, but something like just having a list of curators. I mean, that'll be simple. So and regarding the website, anybody that wants to contribute, just let me know, and then I can set up an account. And then if there's, WordPress is pretty simple to use, but if we need to go through and just this is how you actually publish stuff, then you can set up a call and do that. Shouldn't really take more than 20 minutes or so. Like I said, it's pretty simple, but if you've never done it before, then obviously it'll be new and mysterious. So,
okay.
Well, thank you.
Just looking at friends of we're just looking at the website now, and yeah, it does feel a bit empty yet. So we're still setting up stuff.
Most
friends
of the stuff
CC
is on
Music
the news page. I'm not sure why that they decided to set it up that way. I might just change it so that the news is the landing page. But yeah, that was
curating the curators.
The way they wanted to do it. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be heading out. Thanks for hosting this. I hope you had more people tune in and have some more discussions. I'll check out the videos later. But yeah.
Excellent.
All right. Take care.
Yep. Very good. Jacob, anything that you would like to discuss here?
I mostly just came here to listen.
Yeah.
I don't really know that much about Netlabels, and I listen to Rhino's show occasionally.
Yeah. Yeah, Rhino and I go way back. My guess is that no one else is gonna gonna show up in the next 5 minutes. I'm kind of tempted to duck out, and that way somebody doesn't show up, and then I'm like, okay, we're done in 5 minutes. But yeah, I mean, if you've got any questions or anything, I'm happy to answer what I can.
Okay.
Do you
Not
use
really.
do you use Discord at all?
Yes, but I not really know. Why do you ask?
Oh, well, we have a Discord. I would say, like, if
Okay.
you I can send a link, and then if you if questions pop up later, you can always just dump
Yeah,
them in there.
okay. I see it in the chat.
Yeah,
Is that the one?
kinda,
Yeah.
yeah, and then I think he must have. Oh, there you're back.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I tried to bookmark the Discord
ah,
and I ended up dragging it into the.
yeah. I thought maybe you had clicked on it and used the same window. I'm like, man, I'm surprised it used the same. We wasn't smart enough to like open a new window, but yeah. Yeah, we haven't used the Discord a lot. I've been slightly loath to, because I know a lot of people don't like Discord, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, can't please everybody. And it does seem like enough people like know how to use Discord that it's simple enough to use. Yeah, and you're always welcome to come hang out during the monthly listening parties, and just sometimes people just sit and chat, and sometimes people share music.
When's the next monthly listening party?
So it's the 29th.
Okay.
So it's always the last Saturday. So, yeah.
And that's in the Discord? Is there an IRC channel or a matrix room or something?
Oh, we use the CC Music Jitsi, the one that Antoine was posting, even though decided to change it just because I don't know if you were here when we were talking about Dogma Zeke and the license situation. I think you might have. No,
I don't think I was here.
But yeah, I had a big discussion with folks a while back. I think CCHQ may have like said something positive about AI, and then people are like down with CC, and I'm not really sure, but there for a minute people were very angry. So I was like, okay, we'll just use Netlabels in case. Because like if there's like a big thing that we need to deal with, like as a community, that CCHQ is like doing something people don't like, then let's make sure like people have like a place to talk about that. Because I know that like that licensing stuff was a big deal 20 years ago, but it's just not now. So it's like, okay, like I get it, there are other licenses, but I don't really understand why people are making such a thing about it in 2026. So but yeah, we'll probably just keep using that for things because it's out there a lot of places. But yeah, I will be back in 4 hours. I'm gonna go take my dog out and go
Okay.
for a run and eat some lunch, and then if you want to come back, I'll be here. If not, then I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday.
Bye.
All right, thanks, Jacob.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.